Welcome to Arrow News Channel. Like and subscribe to update news around the world. It's been a terrifying couple of months for Texas, and this week is starting off especially bad. It's been just over 2 months since 26 churchgoers were murdered in the state, followed by an attack on the Texas Christian University campus a couple days after in Fort Worth. Now, a barrage of shots have been fired into a school cafeteria, kicking off another horrific week for Texans. This ambush comes as the latest in an unfortunate trend of school shootings which seems to have no end in sight. We previously reported that a Christian academy in Fort Lauderdale, Florida had gone on lockdown after receiving a threat that campus officials alerted authorities to. Bullets were found on the property, but a suspect was not identified, nor was a weapon recovered. Police lifted the lockdown order and classes and student pickup soon resumed to normal. Following this threat, shots were really fired at another Christian campus, this time in Texas, who just suffered a Sunday church service massacre. Now, it's gotten worse at a school in Italy, Texas. The reports. The Ellis County Sheriff's Office has a 16-year-old student in custody after a school shooting Monday morning that left a 15-year-old injured. Just before 8 a.m., an active shooter was reported at Italy High School in Italy, Texas. A 16-year-old male student was taken into custody without incident after shooting a 15-year-old female student in the cafeteria with a semi-automatic handgun, Sheriff Charles Edge said. Staff members confronted the suspect, who then fled before being arrested outside the school. The girl was taken via helicopter to Parkland Memorial Hospital in Dallas. Her condition hasn't been released. This morning's tragedy hits the heart of this community, Superintendent Lee Schoffer said. Our staff acted as trained and addressed the situation the best way they could. He added that counselors will be provided on campus to speak with students. Earlier in the morning, an Italy ISD parent showed a text message alert Superintendent Schoffer sent Monday morning. The message confirmed the shooting at Italy High School, and stated that one person was shot and taken to the hospital. Officials at Stafford Elementary School confirmed to that it and the high school were both under lockdown during the investigation. High school students were taken to Stafford Elementary School before being reunited with their parents. This is not a gun problem, it's a deranged individual problem of psychopaths seeking vengeance against the type of person they disagree with. For some reason, liberals seem to perpetually ignore this fact and blame the weapon, not the beliefs or affiliations of the person who pulled the trigger. While the motive is unknown and presumed to be a lover's spat, the root of the issue still remains, that parents need to be more attentive to what's going on with their children and take responsibility in raising them right. The town of Italy has only 2,000 residents, and the high school hosts 6th grade through 12th grade students. There were 281 students enrolled in 2017, according to statistics in the Texas Tribune, according to Blue Lives Matter. The Dallas Morning News reported that EXO will lead the investigation of the shooting, but that the Italy Police Department, the Hill County Sheriff's Office, the Texas Department of Public Safety, and Texas Rangers were all assisting. Americans, specifically Christians, are under attack in these trying days prophesied about in the Bible that we are seeing come to fruition under the most terrifying terms. In September, white Tennessee churchgoers were ambushed and killed by a gunman in an unprovoked attack that was swiftly swept under the rug by the mainstream media, desperate to hide the important details and keep the attention on irrelevant issues like Russian collusion. Now, the blood of 26 faithful believers is now on their hands after disregarding the clear and present threat in this country to keep the focus on their rhetoric. There's no hiding what's happening now, and every American needs to be on high alert for what's coming. It took just a couple of hours for Barack Obama to come forward and condemn the weapon after the Sutherland Springs shooting. In the aftermath of the Islamic terrorist attack in Manhattan, the push to not blame the so-called religion of peace was immediate. Now there's little to no talk of what happened there, since the culprit was Islam and the left is fiercely protecting it. They didn't talk about blaming rented U-Haul trucks after the terrorist mowed people over, but now they can't stop talking about guns after a white male used one to murder 26 Christians.